Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Abdullah Patel English High School and the RT Junior College. Today, this is our last session of the chapter number 4 of our subject history. As we have started by colonialism and the Marathas, we have completed by introduction part of the chapter, colonialism versus the Maratha Empire, Portuguese and Maratha Empire, Dutch and Maratha Empire, French and Maratha Empire, British and Maratha Empire. In this session, we are completing by two more countries which invaded India, that is Siddhis and Maratha Empire and Afghan and Maratha Empire. Hence, we will complete by our chapter, and inshallah in next session I am going to solve the textual activities. Okay, so let's start by the explanation part of Siddhi and Maratha Empire. Now what happened, student? In the latter half of the 15th century, Siddhi arrived in India. From where? From where the Siddhis came. So the place name was Abyssinia, or we can say Ethiopia. And they established themselves at a place in India called as Janjira. I hope you have listened Janjira fort name, right? So from Abyssinia they came at the latter half of 15th century and settled down in Janjira. Now here what happened, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took over the forts at Pale, Ghosale and Rayari. Siddhi was alarmed because of this. Now as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj took the charge of these forts, Siddhi became alarmed. They come to know now something is going to happen. Hence in the year 1671, Maratha army blocked each and every way to go or to approach Janjira fort. Siddhi agreed to surrender the fort to Maratha, but at the same time extend a hand of friendship to the Mughals. Now on one hand, they agreed that they are going to surrender the forts to Marathas, as Shivaji Maharaj has taken the step. And on the other hand, they what very sharp, see what kind of thinking they are having, that now Marathas are capturing the forts. So now what is going to happen, what we are going to do? So they extended help friendship hand from Mughals. Mughals, enemies of Marathas, earlier enemies, right? So enemy's enemy, friend. So here an express readiness to be their feudatory. Feudatory means a person who is ready to pay tax of the land. The Mughals agreed to help him. To whom? To Siddhis, as they accepted that they are ready to pay tax. So as they accepted feudalism, so Mughals ready to help Siddhis. With the help of Mughals, Siddhi successfully repulsed the Maratha army. Okay, this was the first step of Siddhis, that they were successful in repulsing the Maratha army. Now what happened? Siddhi and the British always helped each other against a common enemy. So who was the common enemy of Siddhi and the British? Yes, of course, Marathas. To strengthen the Maratha position against these two, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj began to build a fort at Kanderi Island. Remember, we have already studied about this island, Underi and Kanderi Island. Where it is? Yes, near Mumbai. So that was the reason that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj wanted to build a fort and on Kanderi Island. The construction work was supervised by Minank Bandari. Huge, a British officer, attempted to shut down the construction work by stopping the supplies to the site. Now what happened? As Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj thought that after building this Kanderi Island fort, our position will be much stronger and we can fight with our enemy, that is Siddhi and the Britishers. So the construction was work was given under the supervision of Manik Bhandari. But what happened? Hughes, he was a British officer. Hughes attempt to shut down the construction work. He don't want to carry forward the construction work, and he stopped sending the supplies. Whatever the material were used on the site, he stopped sending those supplies. The British had to force strong opposition from Manik Bhandari and Daulat Khan, the chief of Maratha Navy. These two were the most strongest people in the Maratha Navy, and hence they have given strong opposition to the Britishers. They seized British ships and captured a number of British officers. The British deployed one big steamship and 7 small ships. 40 to 50 small ships of the Marathas bravely confronted the British ships. In the end, the British were forced to beat a retreat from the vicinity of Kandahar, and hence what happened at last? Now British earlier they started capturing the British officers, who Daulat Khan and who was the another one, Manik Bhandari. Okay, they started capturing the British ships, and in the other hand, what happened? British also started deploying big steamship, and at least 40 to 50 small ships of the Maratha bravely confronted the British ship. They attacked British ship. In the end, what happened? British were forced to leave the land. Which land? Kandahar, vicinity of Kandahar. Siddhi was increasingly getting difficult. Hence, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj decided to curb his movement, and curb means stop his movement, and plan a campaign against him. Siddhi was driven to despair because of the repeated attack by the Marathas in the vicinity of Underi, Apte, Nagothane and Janjira. Now here Marathas were giving repeated attack. So the Siddhis has to be driven away. So where they were having this attack? At the place Underi, Apte, Nagothane and Janjira. Janjira, where the Siddhis came earlier and settled down. While Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was thus planning to crush Siddhi forever, the Mughal army was marching towards Swaraj. Now here there was a planning. In Maratha Empire there was a planning. Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was planning of taking out Siddhis from the place. And on the same time, what happened? Mughal army was marching towards Swaraj. Means in Maratha Empire. It would have been unwise to face two enemies on different fronts. Hence, Maratha army stopped chasing Siddhi. Now, what Maratha thought? Fighting with Siddhis as well as with Mughals. So now it is not possible. It is next to impossible. So they stopped chasing, Maratha people stopped chasing Siddhi, and they got prepared for fighting with whom? With Mughals. After Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Rajaram Maharaj and Maharani Tarabai were continuously engaged in combating Aurangzeb. Means fighting with Mughals. And at that time, who was the Mughal ruler? Aurangzeb. Therefore, they could not pay much attention to the nonsense created by other enemy like Britishers, French, Dutch and all. Okay, so they don't have time of paying attention on to this nonsense, as they were engaged with their enemy. Who were the enemy at that time? Aurangzeb. During the time of Bajirao Peshwa I, that is in the year 1733 CE, Common Era, once again the Marathas become active against Siddhi. Okay, now what happened? Chimanji Appa, the younger brother of Bajirao Peshwa I, declared war against Siddhi and won. Finally, Siddhi and Maratha, that is the Peshwa, fought. Chimanji Appa fought, the younger brother of Bajirao Peshwa I fought, and he won also. It was the greatest victory at that time. A treaty was signed by the Marathas and Siddhi. Now why this was the greatest victory? Because at the same time they have also fought with Mughals too. So when they fought, Chimanji Appa, the younger brother of Bajirao Peshwa I, as he declared war and he also won it. against Siddhi. So it was called as the greatest victory at the time. And this victory was led by a signing of a treaty between Marathas and Siddhi. And what was in the treaty? It was accepted of feudatory status under the Marathas. The Siddhis are going to be the feudatory, having the status of feudatory under the Marathas. Means now whatever they have accepted, that they are going to pay to the Mughals, as they were ready that we are going to accept the feudalism and we are going to we are ready for the feudalism. Okay, but you just help us against Marathas. So that thing, now they are going to help to the Marathas. They are going to play the tax of the land to Marathas. As in my earlier session also, I have explained you about the tax, that is the Chauthai, the 1/4 part of the income what we are earning, that we have to pay in terms of tax. Okay, so that thing was now accepted in the treaty, that Siddhis now they are the having the feudatory status under Marathas, not in Mughals. Okay, so here we ended by our first topic, that is Siddhi and Maratha Empire. Moving to the next one, that is the last topic of our chapter, Afghans and the Maratha Empire. Now where this Afghans came from? In the first half of the 18th century, the mighty Mughal Empire had already lost its glory. Now as Marathas in 1818, Maratha Empire completely declined. Here in the 18th century also, in the first half of 18th century, Mughal Empire had also lost its glory. The Mughal rule was now limited only to Delhi, Agra and Punjab. Only in these three states, Delhi, Agra and Punjab, Mughal rule was established. The year 1748 witnessed the first invasion of India by Ahmad Shah Abdali, the king of Afghan. He was defeated at Sirhind by Shahzada Ahmad Shah, the elder son of the emperor. In 1751, Abdali again invaded India. Now see, you can see the image. He is Ahmad Shah Abdali. Now again he invaded in India. This time the Mughal emperor ceded the provision of Lahore and Multan to Abdali in order to avoid war. Now Mughal don't, at the time the Mughal ruler don't want to have war. Okay, so to avoiding the war, he had given Abdali the provinces of Lahore and Multan. In the year 1752, the Marathas and the Mughals arrived at an agreement. There was an agreement signed between the Marathas and the Mughals. And what was the agreement about? It was according to the agreement that the Marathas accepted the responsibility to defend North India, that Marathas will protect North India of Mughals. Okay, so Marathas were going to protect North India, especially the Mughal domain where the Mughals were. In return, Mughal emperor granted the right of collecting Chauthai from Rohilkhand to the Marathas and also ceded parts of some of the Mughal provinces. Now why this deal was happening? Mughals and Marathas, they were the enemy. So it was thought that if Marathas are giving protection to North India where the Mughals are living, so Mughals are giving the Chauthai. Chauthai, it is a tax, 1/4 part of our income. So Marathas are having the right of collecting this Chauthai from the area, from the region of Rohilkhand to the Marathas, and the other parts also were included of the Mughal provinces. So in the year 1757, Abdali again attacked for the third time. Now this was the third time that Abdali attacked India. He returned to Afghanistan after ransacking the region and around Delhi and Mathura. When he ransacked the region of Delhi and Mathura, he left over to Afghanistan. This time the Maratha army marched from Pune under the leadership of Raghunath Rao Peshwa, but before they could reach Delhi, Abdali had already gone back. Now as Marathas came to know that Abdali is doing this kind of thing, they came over here. But till they reached Delhi, Abdali went Afghanistan. Marathas took charge of Delhi and normalized the situation there. And hence, once they reach over there, who? Raghunath Rao Peshwa, Marathas. Once they reach Delhi, at that time they take each and everything under their control and they normalize the situation over there. Marathas and Sikh together planned a campaign to get back Punjab, which was held by Abdali. Now, here a new people came in front of us, that is the Sikh who are related to Punjab. Okay, Punjabi people. So Maratha and Sikh people together planned a campaign and they get back Punjab, which was held by Abdali. They conquered Sirhind province and then Lahore. From there, the Maratha army reached Attock. In 1759, Abdali marched back for the fourth time. Again, for fourth time, he marched in India. Now this time what happened? Dattaji and Jankaji Shinde, the Maratha noble, resisted his advance. However, Abdali marched with great speed and strength and conquered Punjab in no time. Though whatever, how much the strongest army we were having, Abdali was having much more strongest one. Okay, so with greatest speed and strength, he conquered Punjab once again. Dattaji Shinde fell on the battleground. Very bravely he fought, but finally he fell on the battlefield. Abdali took complete hold of Delhi with an intention to outset the Afghan permanently. Now there was the intention that permanently this Afghan will be, the people of Afghan will be removed. The Maratha army marched out from Pune under the leadership of Sadashiv Rao Peshwa and Vishwasrao Peshwa. On 14th January 1761, the Maratha army and Abdali confronted each other at Panipat on the bank of river Yamuna. The war between them is known as the Third Battle of Panipat. Now here, the war between the Peshwa and means the Maratha army and Abdali, that is the Afghan, is called as Third Battle of Panipat, where it had been fought on the banks of river Yamuna. Remember, okay? In which year? 1761, 14th January 1761. Both Peshwa were killed in this war. A message in court language was sent to Pune announcing the loss. It was as follows. Means as the Maratha army has lost their two heroes, two Peshwas. So the message was written in a code language. And now what was the code language? In what way they have written? Two precious pearls, means two Peshwas. Precious pearls fell, means death. 27 gold coins were lost, means the nobles were lost, and there is no count to the loss of silver and copper coins. Now how much loss of silver and copper, means other soldiers, how much they have been dead, so that is in no count. Indeed, the Marathas on the battleground of Panipat fought with an unwavering conviction which can be described as India for the Indians. Means whatever the way they have used, whatever the techniques they have used in fighting against the Afghans cannot be written. It can be described as India for the Indians. It was not an easy task for Abdali to rule Delhi, and he soon returned home. And finally, Abdali, after seeing the spirit of the Maratha army, he has returned to his home, that is Afghanistan. The Maratha opposition was so fierce that neither Abdali nor his successor ever returned to India. And from that day, neither the Abdali nor his successor, who was the another king after Abdali, had ever tried to think to return to India. The British could establish absolute supremacy in India. Now see, again there is one more, that is the British. Afghan has also went back, but the Britishers are still in India. So now they want to establish absolute supremacy in India. Once the Maratha rule declined in the 19th century, however, the Indian fought against the British supremacy also. Besides, they also had to fight against many internal evil practices and customs that were prevalent in the Indian society. Not only the Maratha Empire or the Indian people have only the people to fight with, or the people from another country, the foreigners, only the foreigners. They don't have to fight with only to the foreigners, but also the internal conflict, internal problems were also there. For example, sati system, for example, widow marriage, widow remarriage, for example, untouchability. These were also the social practices from which the Indians were reeling under. They were facing these problems also, and they were fighting these social issues also. Okay, that were prevalent in the Indian society. They were fighting against this thing also. So, inshallah, in the next lesson, we will be learning about the social and religious reform in India. Now, no more attacks only related to social and religious reformers in India. Okay, so here I end by the topic, second topic, that is Afghan and Maratha. Let's have a quick revision of both of the topic. So in Siddhi and Maratha Empire, we have to remember the first point. Mark it down in your test work. In the latter half of the 15th century, Siddhi arrived in India from Abyssinia, that is Ethiopia. Second point, they established themselves at Janjira. Third, in 1671, Maratha army blocked all approaches to Janjira fort. Fourth point, Siddhi surrendered to the fort to Maratha and extended friendship to the Mughals. Fifth point, with the help of Mughals, Siddhi successfully repulsed the Maratha army. Sixth point, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj began to build a fort on Kanderi Island. Kanderi Island, where it is? Yes, in Mumbai. Seventh point, the British had to face strong opposition from Manak Bhandari and Daulat Khan, the chief of Maratha Navy, and finally they had to retreat from the vicinity of Kanderi. Next point, that is the eighth point, what we have to remember is Siddhi was increasingly getting difficult, but while Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj was planning to crush Siddhi forever, the Mughal army was marching towards Swaraj. Hence, Maratha army stopped chasing Siddhi. Ninth point, Chimaji Appa declared war against Siddhi and won it. Last point that we have to remember in Siddhi versus Maratha is through a treaty, Siddhi accepted a feudatory status under the Maratha. So these were the important points that we have to remember in Siddhi and Marathas. Now the last topic, that is Afghan and the Maratha Empire. The very first point that we have to remember is that in the first half of the 18th century, the mighty Mughal Empire was limited only to Delhi, Agra and Punjab. Second, in 1748, Ahmad Shah Abdali, the king of Afghan, invaded India for the first time. Third, he was defeated at Sirhind by Shahzada Ahmad Shah, the elder son of the emperor. Fourth, in 1751, Abdali again invaded India. This time, the Mughal emperor ceded the provinces of Lahore and Multan to Abdali in order to avoid war. Fifth point, in 1757, Abdali attacked for the third time and ransacked the region around Delhi and Mathura. Sixth point, Marathas took charge of Delhi and normalized the situation there. Seventh point, Marathas and Sikh together conquered Sirhind province and then Lahore. From there, the Maratha army reached Attock. Attock, it is the name of a place. Eighth point, in 1759, Abdali marched back for the fourth time and took complete hold of Delhi. Ninth point, on 14th January 1761, the Maratha army and Abdali confronted each other at the Third Battle of Panipat. Both Peshwa were killed in this war. 10th point, it was not an easy task for Abdali to rule Delhi and he soon returned home. The Maratha position was so fragile that neither Abdali nor his successor ever returned to India. 11th point, the British established absolute supremacy in India after the decline of the Marathas in the 19th century. However, the Indians fought against the British supremacy. Last point, they had to fight against many internal evil practices and customs in Indian society. Here I completed by the last topic, that is Afghan and Maratha Empire revision. I hope all the topics are clear to you. In our next lesson, inshallah, we are going to continue chapter number 5. We are going to continue by the social and religious reform in Indian society. And in the next session, inshallah, I am going to give you textual answers. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you so much for listening.